Nostalgia is a pretty new brand to me. I just discovered it few months ago just because of my friend Pulkit from Gadget Generations. The first product I tested, Camelot, blew me away. I ranked it the highest among the best performers in my ranking list, but then an Annihilator came by Elysian Acoustics, the 2023 version, and it took the place, but it was there for quite a long time in that peak position. And our friend circle got really excited about the brand Nostalgia Audio. The people who work there are really enthusiastic about their products and they really care for their products, which is not something that we can see in this hobby. Like every company is churning a lot of equipments here and there just because they wanted to keep the hype in. Nostalgia is not like that. They take great care in their packaging, they take great care in their products, the design, aesthetics, the internals, everything. Well, Durandal is the second product after Camelot, and I can't say that I like it as well as the Camelot. I will discuss everything later. It's not something that impressed me as much as Camelot did. Okay, how is it different from the Camelot? So those two IEMs are very different. Camelot is made for a bass boosted natural sound, and Durandal is a fun sounding IEM. I can't call it a proper V shape because of the 3K deep in the upper mids, but it's a fun sounding IEM with huge amount of bass and subtle qualities in treble that can make it a V sounding IEM. So before starting the review of the sound quality, we have to take a look about the packaging. When you are paying something as huge amount as this, which is 2400 USD or 3200 Singaporean dollar, you would expect something that has a bit of premium unboxing experience. And Nostalgia provide, be it the Camelot, be it the Durandal, the unboxing experience is just too good with the IEM. Even their cables have better boxes than the few flagship IEMs. The graphics, the little handle that you can use to pull out the packaging, everything is just too good. Now coming to the aesthetics of the IEM, it's a bit flashy, it's not subtle, and I don't think I like it that much. It has great details on the faceplate and it seems like a royal IEM. You might like it. It's a very textured, it's not 2D, it has depth, it is 3D. The shells are really translucent, you can see the drivers, but I don't think it's made for me. The fit and finish is quite good. The aluminium thing around the faceplate is not something that I like. The fit and finish was really good. The fit, I was a bit skeptical about the fit. I had to tip roll a lot to touch my ear canals with the my pinna with the bone conduction driver. I think it's a problem with my ears only, and if you have medium to large ears, it won't be a problem. It's pretty good. If you talk about the fit, you might have to tip roll a bit here and there, but it's quite good. The thing that I didn't like about this IEM is the popping sound, that when you put this IEM, there's a certain click that it will make. I don't know if it's avoidable or not, but it gives a certain bad taste in mouth before listening to the IEM. So it is what it is. Then it comes with a pretty expensive looking Vortex Horuland cable, which I am a big fan of the Vortex cable. It is not like Effect Audio cables, which I will review in a few days, and maybe I should make a video also about ranking the cables that I heard. And that cable is like any Vortex cable, it made with cloth, and it has a bit of microphonics, not much, and it does provide a bit of premium feeling with that IEM. It's just a cable, it's not something that needs special attention or like that. It's just that it's a really high quality cable. So coming to the signature of the IEM, the signature of the IEM is like really fun, too fun for my liking. I was pleasantly surprised by the price tag it got released, because at this price tag with this tuning, it's a pretty much risk to play in the current market scenario, because we have a lot of fun sounding IEMs in Singapore also. But the thing is that $3,200 in Singapore is not something to take lightly. And that's what I am implying to. If you talk about the driver configuration of this IEM, it houses two Sonion bone conduction driver. I don't know if any other companies make bone conduction, but it's the two Sonion bone conduction drivers. It has one DD for the bass, and the two bone conduction that I talked about is for low mids. I know it sounded a bit odd, but it is what it is. They might have tuned something with this. Let's discuss this in the sound section. And we have 4BA, two for the higher mids, or they called it higher mids, it's the upper mids, and two for the treble. Now if you talk about the volume characteristics of the sound, it is a low volume set. I don't think it is a high volume set, because when you cross certain volumes it might sound peaky. It's not like it will distort or give you something uneven, but I think it's a low volume set, low to medium volume set. I don't think you should put this through its paces by cranking up your volume button or the volume wheel. It's a pretty fun sounding set on low volumes, and I will recommend you to keep it at a low to medium volume. Jumping to the objective performance of this IEM about the sound quality, it goes like this. The sub bass has good amplitude. It is not overwhelmingly active or overwhelmingly boosted, nor it is overwhelmingly less to call it a natural sounding IEM. It's a bass boosted. This is how a bass boosted IEM should sound. Very detailed and textured, but it is kind of soft in the micro contrast. The decay and the attack are not too quick, which makes the bass a very lifelike and a very natural and earthy. And the bass is not also super controlled, super tight. Like when the bass bounces, you can feel the wave going through bass, or you can feel it coming. So it's not like it just stops there. It will, the decay, you can feel the decay in the sound. So it has a room filling nature to the bass, which I really liked. And the bass also played, the sub bass mainly is played in a separate section of the audio, which never indulged into the main presentation of the music, if I make any sense. It just stays in a other track, and it just provide a bass, no pun intended, to the whole music to play upon. And which is a kind of interesting thing that I noticed in this IEM, and I appreciated it quite a lot. Fun fact, another IEM that I noticed recently is this. If you can recognize this IEM, it's the Thea Audio Origin, and this has a similar representation of the sub bass that I'm talking about. It's really good, and it's quite unusual as a person who love natural sounding IEMs. Mid bass is super punchy. It just hits you in the face with its amplitude, and it is a bassed IEM to say the least. I can't call it a tactile experience, since the Thea Audio Origin is a pretty tactile IEM, and you can't feel the bass. Like, you can't physically feel the bass without hearing the IEM. It's not that tactile, but it is good. It is not that overwhelmingly boosted so it can give you a headache or give you a puking sensation. It's just there. Unlike the sub bass, the mid bass is really controlled. It is very fast. The decay and attack is really quick and tight. The sub bass to mid bass transition is not quite seamless. It is quite separated, so you can feel the mid bass punching you in the face, but the sub bass will stay back in the mix. Anyway, the mid bass gets a lot of attention, where it kind of providing a sound signature to a really niche audience. And to be honest, the Durandal depends on the DAC amps quite a lot. When I plugged it to my RT5000, it sounded like a bit lifeless, but when I plugged it into my JDS Atom, it sounded like a much fuller IEM, much rounded, a much powerful IEM. So I think DAC and amps makes a lot of difference with this IEM, so keep that in mind. So the lower mids are very rich and slightly forward, not warm or lush by any chance. No graph to show, but there is an elevation at the 450 Hz which I didn't like. Aptly textured, detailed and well resolving. Wouldn't buy it for vocal focused listening sessions, but instrument sounded pretty good. Not much to talk about. The fundamentals are correct. Not impressive by any ways. Like, it's not for a lower mid-range set, and you can't expect a earth-shattering, a flagship performance from the mid-range with this IEM. It's not made for that. That is why Camelot is made. If you want mid-range, go to Camelot. It's just too good. Now if we talk about the upper mids, the resolution is excellent while maintaining a organic tonality. Not too much air or sparkle to offer to give music a shining and glittering finish. Very safe and maintained tonality, and never felt dark or bright, even though it might be visible on the frequency response graph. No effect in the timbre reproduction of the upper mid focus instruments. Very soothing for long listening sessions, again on a low volume, and even more soothing than the lower mids. Like, although on high volume it might suffer from a bit of shoutiness, it's no problem in low to mid volumes. And one thing that I noticed is the vocals always jumps from the track. If you listen to a song which has a lot of vocals, the vocalist will stay up here and give you their vocals. It's not like representation that is standardized from a distance. It is the vocalist always jumps up to you and like give you a more focused vocals rather than staying in the background and providing with the other instruments. It's like that. The treble is not much to praise or complain about. Great details for the amplitude that it is offering. A bit on safer side on low to mid volume, but it might again sound a bit unrefined in the high volumes. Keep that in mind. It is quick and transience is pretty good. It's not super duper snappy or super duper agile. I would have liked a bit more agility, but it's just there. It is just not flagship level. So this is the basic objective tonality of the IEM. I can't say that I like this IEM a lot in terms of the tonality, but yeah, it caters a very fun sounding signature. Now if we talk about or compare it with other fun sounding IEMs, if we talk about the craftier Omnium is a more safer choice than this. Omnium is a bit more balanced in the bass, a bit more forward in the treble. The vocals on Omnium are a bit sloped, and I think they both offer a pretty great fun sound, but they are pretty much the different IEMs. Like, if you want a very mid-bassy punchy IEM that has a subdued treble on medium volume, you get the Durandal. And if you want a overall great IEM with everything good on paper, but you can handle a bit of recessed mids, you can get the Omnium. Then comes the Camelot, its bigger brother. Camelot is a totally different IEM. There is no comparison between them. The tech is better on Durandal to me. Some might say that they can find the Camelot a bit more technically sounding IEM, technically superior sounding IEM, but I disagree. Depth of the stage is a lot better in the Durandal. Then if we talk about the Ruby, I straight up prefer Durandal more than the Ruby. Both are a fun IEM and comes at a different price tag too, but yeah, I prefer the Durandal just because I am not a fan of the treble refinement of the Ruby, although I'm not a fan of the treble refinement in Durandal also, but I will take Durandal any day instead of Ruby. Now coming to the portion where Durandal excels at. Durandal excels at the technicalities department. The soundstage is just vast it just mixes into the abyss. It's not like, okay, soundstage doesn't exist, I believe that, and I know it's an illusion, but there is no dip at 1 kHz, and that soundstage is just super vast. The only problem I had with the soundstage is it is not as tall as the Camelot, which Camelot soundstage is just super tall and it will give you sound. It will give you gobs of sound to play with. Durandal is not like that. It will feel a bit like IEM, Camelot feels like a full-fledged headphone. So Durandal feels like an IEM, and you can measure depth precisely. It is just too good. You can the imaging on you can extract even subtle differences in the soundstage. It's just too good of a technically sounding IEM. It is super accurate, it is super enjoyable, and I can't recommend Durandal enough for its technical performance. The timbre is quite good too. The drums felt like they were drums. The violins, the everything just felt good with this IEM. Pianos felt good, saxophone felt good. Guitars lacked a bit of crunch and bite, but overall I would say the timbre is pretty good with this IEM. Not as good as the Annihilator or the Camelot, but it is good. Now if we talk about the dynamics of this IEM, I think it just tops the chart with dynamics again. The bone conduction driver that they are saying they're made for the low mids, I don't think that. I think they are using the bone conduction for the bass too, and I don't know how they can give such a textured bass with that amount of amplitude with the dynamic driver. Of course, I'm no scientist and I'm just a reviewer. The fun sounding nature in the bass is just too good. So who should buy this IEM and who shouldn't? Suppose you are finding technically impeccable IEM. It can pinpoint instruments like nothing else. It can create stage like effortlessly. It has a really good sound stage, incredible bass. Pick this IEM. But if you are a person who listens to music a lot loudly, if everything you care for is the mid-range, if everything you care for is the treble, not the refinement but the air, skip this IEM. It's made for fun and just use it for fun. That's my time. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Lot more interesting contents are coming, and stay tuned. Bye.